I think you'll want to listen to this because top promoter Frank Warren only ever joins us when he's got something to tell us. And Mr. Warren, I'm presuming, correct me if I'm wrong, you've got something to tell us. Good afternoon, Frank.
Good afternoon, Jim, Simon and Spencer. Yes, I certainly have. We're announcing a fantastic fight that will take place on the 24th of September at the AO Arena in Manchester. We've got Joyce, the WBO #1 mandatory challenger, against Joseph Parker, former world champion, ranked #2.
Wow. Congratulations, Frank. And live and exclusive on talkSPORT, as I understand it.
Say that again?
I will do, because it sounds good. Live and exclusive on talkSPORT.
Absolutely, and we've got to thank our talkSPORT arbitrator for help making it happen.
Frank, this is a great fight. Actually, Joseph Parker's still very much in his prime. Is this a coming of age fight now for Joyce? This is where we see if he can really take that step up, to the elite in the heavyweight.
Well, I think it is, Spence. But first of all, you've got to remember, Joe's, although he's had a wealth of experience as an amateur, Commonwealth champion, Olympic silver medalist, he's still only had 14 fights as a professional. Parker's had 32 fights, 21 of those knockouts. He's a former world champion himself. So he's got a wealth of experience over twice the amount of fights that Joe's had. So this is a big step up for Joe. But, we fancy him. Otherwise, we wouldn't have made the fight. It's a great fight, and I think it's a great fight for the fans. Two solid guys.
I'm loving this, Frank. Simon's going to come in here, but thanks for bringing this news, because it was my understanding this was only going to be confirmed in a press conference later this afternoon. So for those listening, it's happening. It'll be streamed on the talkSPORT YouTube channel, and of course it's live on talkSPORT. Joyce Parker on the 24th of September. Simon,
it's a good fight, Frank. However, did you get it done? Listen, a fight that's been made between two British fighters. Huh? Would you say?
I said we had a little bit of help to nudge it over the line.
Yeah. But what I think is also important for people to know is that this is a fight that's been made by two promoters that have worked together to get a solution when most people thought this fight wasn't going to happen, wasn't it?
Well, it's quite common knowledge what happened. We agreed the terms and everything, and then Parker went off and signed a deal with Sky.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, that I was absolutely annoyed with. But having said that, we did get it over the line because, they see sense that where was Parker going? He needed Joyce. And we wanted that fight because we felt it was a great fight to make. So both parties sat down and eventually got the deal done. So,
But that's the point I'm making, because too often, in my view, for what it's worth, you get this sort of entrenched position where the promoters can't find a solution and the British fight fans don't get to see decent fights. And the point I was making is that between you and George and Ben, you found a solution to get a fight on that has merit to it, and people get to see a proper heavyweight fight in this country between two very decent prospects.
Absolutely. And the winner of this will become, I believe, will be the mandatory to the winner of the fight that you were talking about that's on talkSPORT earlier between
Joshua and Usyk.
Yeah, Joshua and Usyk. So this is a great story all round. We hear that fight on talkSPORT and then see this, and the winner will probably be the first in, unless the is made with Tyson.
So what do you think, Frank? The winner of Joyce Parker, in an ideal world, would take on the winner of Usyk AJ, and in an ideal world, that individual would fight Fury?
Well, in an ideal world, it wouldn't work out that way. We'd go straight to the unification fight with Tyson if he decides he wants to do that. But if he doesn't, then the winner of Joe and the two Joes will fight the winner of the Joshua fight and Usyk. So whatever happens, there's brilliant press fighting the winner of that, and whatever happens, you've got a great series of fights. I hope Tyson does carry on fighting, and I mean this is fantastic for boxing. It's certainly fantastic for heavyweight.
Right. Yeah, Frank. You probably heard Simon whispering to Spencer there in a stage whisper that could be heard in Wick in the north of Scotland. Spencer, what did he ask you to ask Frank?
The question I was going to ask you, and this is nothing. Frank, this is nothing to do with Simon. Nothing at all. It just popped into my head. Is there a rematch clause with Joseph Parker versus Joyce? And go. I don't know why Jim even suggested that Simon had anything to do with this.
Well, listen, what do you?
On you go, Frank.
Yeah, there is one. I mean, look, Joe,
Oh, well, we got this.
Simon, can you believe that?
It's news to me.
Frank, go on. Never mind them. Tell us. Is there a rematch
the
clause?
man in the know knows.
If you know, you know, right, Frank?
He knows, you know.
Oh, terrific. Frank, since you're on live, I mean, I got to put it to you. What is the latest from the Tyson Fury camp? Where is he at now? Is he coming back? Is he still saying he's not? What's he doing?
I've spoken to him quite a few times over the last few weeks. You know, he's at the moment he's just doing. I think he's just finished his tour. I think he's just finished it. So he's just now spending some time with his family. And yeah, mate, I think really we're all waiting to see what happens on the 20th. I mean, I don't think he's not, you know, saying that himself. But
But why are he and Chisora calling each other out?
Well, Chisora's calling him out, isn't he? Because Chisora obviously wants
Chisora wants to fight anybody, yeah. I think that tour's still going on, actually. Tyson Fury's doing something out in Mallorca at the end of August sometime.
Yeah, and he did say, Tyson, I think it was well over a year ago, that he would, you know, the fights he'd like to finish off his career, and one of them was another rematch with Derek Chisora. But we'll see where that goes.
Frank, I know you've got a lot of faith in Joe Joyce. Is it your belief Joe will step up to the plate, beat Parker, and then get a shot at Usyk or AJ?
Well, I hope that's going to be the case because he's their man. It's not an easy fight. You know, Parker's a tough guy, and Joe. You know, Joe, it's no secret, he'll take a couple to throw a shot. He can withstand them. If he can withstand the punches, then I fancy a wearing down. But it will not be easy. This is a real good quality fight between the number one and number two in the organisation.
I think it's fair to say, Frank, just as a neutral, this is a genuine 50-50 fight. You know, this is one of those fights that could easily go the other way. You know, Joyce, if he can take those shots and come through, use his strength, his size, his power, he could get the victory. But Parker, as we've seen, you know, he's a durable guy and he can bite down on that gum shield. He's a genuine 50-50.
Well, he stopped 21 out of the 32 opponents.
Sure.
So he's got a 2/3 stoppage record. So, you know, he can punch. And we know Joe's got a good chin, but Joe can punch as well. He stopped 13 of his 14 opponents. I think it's going to be a real crack. And by the way, tickets will be on sale with Ticketmaster.co.uk on Tuesday, 9th of August at midday.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on